So you've seen the MFM videos, maybe on porn, and it really excites you. It's a deep desire that you have, or it's a desire that you've had for a long time. And maybe it's something you've talked to your partner about. Maybe you haven't even whispered a word to them yet. But we're going to get into some other dynamics talking about when it goes from that, how do you get it from that sort of fantasy world into the world of practice and reality? So we're going to talk about a few things. First of all, why men fantasize about MFM dynamics, and what porn doesn't prepare you for. We're also going to talk about what comes up emotionally and sexually when it actually starts to happen, when you actually start to have that MFM, and how to navigate through an MFM without losing yourself, your partner, or your power. So if this is a topic that really interests you and you are excited about this idea of sexually exploring with your partner, I have a great offer for you. My M-Power program is for men who are exactly in this space, wanting to sexually explore, wanting to move beyond where they are in their intimate and sexual relationship with their partner, their wives. Get link in the description below, get on the waiting list, let's have a chat, and let's get you on the waiting list so that you can be part of M-Power. So within this MFM, what are you really seeking? Sometimes this fantasy, yes, I'm seeking to take part in a connection with another man and feel the masculine body. But I'm also seeking to see my partner in this great pleasure that she's going to experience. That's really exciting for me. And you might also crave this intensity of the experience, the dominance of the experience. Maybe you're craving this emotional exposure or the surrender that you and your partner are going to go into. Or maybe this is a fantasy that, you're trying to wake up something within you that, that desire, that deeper desire. You just think this fantasy is going to wake me up, wake up our relationship. This is just very individual on what you're going to feel, what you feel. And, the more honest you are with what's really going on with you and tapping into your deeper kind of shadowy desires, and sort of like feel into that darker masculine energy. And this is something else we work around in M-Power, like getting you into that dark masculine energy. You're going to start to learn more about what kind of a man you really are, and accept yourself more. Accept who you are, accept your desires, accept the kind of things that you want to explore. So the fantasy of the MFM has a lot of other elements that are connected to that around masculine energy and masculine power. And when you can allow yourself to see those and feel that and tap into those deeper elements, it really starts to help open up these places in you that have felt dormant, that have felt unable to express themselves, that have kind of put you in men can tend to lock themselves in this prison of the sexuality, like just sitting on the porn and holding in your desires. But when you start to release this and start to feel comfortable in who you are and confident in your body and what you want to express, you start to understand more about the kind of man that you are, really. So there is so much on porn right now, anything that you can imagine, of course, and it really hooks men in particular men, because it's very visual, very stimulating. And then once you have seen a lot of exciting situations, you want to see more and you want to keep going. And it's kind of like an ongoing drama that they hook you into. But the problem with porn is that it hooks you in visually and mentally, but it completely disconnects you from the energetics of your body. It's designed for that instant gratification, not designed for how do you connect to your partner, how do you feel their body, how do you get deeper in that energy with each other, nothing like that. So it can really hinder you moving forward in your sexual life. In porn, it's actually all about control, you being controlled, them being in control of you and your gratification. In life, it's all about surrender. It's about you surrendering your body, your partner surrendering her body, and you going into a deeper kind of energetic love-making situation with each other. So let's say you and your partner have talked, because I'm not going to get into the talking. The first thing, of course, is to talk about it, talk about your intimate desire. But now you're actually going to start to play it out. And so what does it feel like when you actually do play it out? Now, there's going to be a whole range of emotions that come up, because this might be a desire that you've held on for a long time, and your partner may just be kind of new for her, and she's coming into it and not sure what to expect. So there's going to be a lot of emotions that come up, and it could turn out to be really fantastic, an amazing connection. It can be a complete disaster. It can just be kind of like, oh, okay, that was interesting. So there's a lot of range of emotions that can happen. So you don't want to put any power into your first MFM. And when I say about power, I mean defining it as, well, this is what happens when we have an MFM. This is at one scenario. Each scenario that you have, each exploration that you have with someone else, bringing someone else into your coupledom, is going to be different. It's always going to be different, because that other person is very energetically different and is going to offer something very different for you and your partner. So this is why it's all really important to surrender your body, to breathe into your body, to feel it and move through your body, as opposed to be up here with the expectations, what you saw in porn, what it should be like, what it should look like, how should it feel. It has to come deeper from your body so that you can be present and be part of this incredible exploration that you're going on with your partner. Now, one of the biggest intensities about having an MFM is watching your partner with another man. Now, this is a huge desire I know that many men have, because it's super exciting. It's just feels so wild and exciting, right? To see your partner, it's like you're watching your own porn movie, looking at your partner with another man and seeing what happens in that dynamic. Now, you may have this fantasy about it and it feels really great, but in reality, there's a lot of things that can come up, because now your partner is with another person, and the dynamic, you don't know what that dynamic is going to be like. You could feel a little jealous, you could feel really uncomfortable, you could get really turned on. So again, you don't want to put power into how you might feel. Just want to relax and breathe into it. Be that sort of more stable person where you can breathe and you are in your body and present, so you can really enjoy whatever unfolds with you and your wife. Some men might feel really confident after they've had the MFM, and some might have just you might get thrown around quite a bit and not feel quite unstable. But whatever the case is, don't go into having an MFM until you feel really grounded in yourself, until you feel really, really solid with who you are and what you're doing, and open to any possibility or any outcome that's going to take place. There's also the case where many men want MFMs, chase an idea of an MFMs in order to feel something. Maybe there's not much of a connection happening with you and your partner, and it's just like, well, I have an attraction to men. I want to have this experience. I want to feel this in my body. I want to feel something different, because my connection with her is not as fun as it used to be, not as desirous as it used to be. And now I can see her with this other guy, and it could get really exciting and get me really turned on. So yes, that's all great, and that's all something that will potentially happen. But you want to be, again, you want to come from your own power, right? You want to come from you feeling really solid and powerful in your own being, in your own ability to be present in this situation. And I talk a lot about this, having the discussion before with your partner, talking about boundaries that are going to be really important for the two of you, talking about what it is you really want, what you don't want. Again, this is about the boundaries, so that the two of you feel really secure. So you feel you have sort of a solid space to work in. You've created a container to work in. When you bring your partner and you into this other scenario with a new person, all sorts of things can unfold, right? Your energy starts to move, and you feel it in your body, and you want this to happen and that to happen, and you want to, sometimes that energy can take over. It can be very powerful. So before you start, create some kind of boundaries, some restrictions that you and your partner decide upon, and with that other person, so that other person also understands what your boundaries are for this particular situation. Each situation will be different, and you can readjust the boundaries depending on how you feel every time you go into an MFM. The first one is usually the scariest, right? Because you've never done it before. You don't know how you're going to feel. You don't know how your partner's going to feel. You don't really know even how this guy coming in, what it's going to be like to have him in the situation. So you want to create some kind of boundaries for the three of you, all discussing this before you actually get intimate with each other. Because once you're intimate, if you don't have the boundaries set up, things can happen that you might not be ready for, and it could really take it over the edge, right? So I think it's really important that you discuss that. When I went into my first MFM, there were boundaries that were in place. And even with the boundaries, even with the guidelines of what I wanted and didn't want, the things I didn't want did not happen because we were all very clear, as well as the things that each of the men didn't want to have happen yet. But the energy takes over. It's big, it's exciting, it's thrilling. So I thought, wow, if we didn't have those boundaries in place, it's just like a free-for-all, right? But sometimes we're not ready for that when you're just starting. Later on, maybe you will be, but in the beginning, get those boundaries, create some kind of structure, create some kind of container that you'll feel safe in, and your wife will feel safe in. So when you go into this, you want to feel really good and solid, and you'll know you're ready for an MFM when you feel solid in your own sexual energy and your own sexual confidence, right? So that means your ejaculation control, you're in control of that. You feel really good in your body, you feel embodied, and you feel like, you can be present for you and your partner, for yourself, of course, but also for your partner, for your wife. So you can know this for sure if you can talk openly to your partner about what you're going to do and what's happening, and like anything that comes up, you can talk openly with her. You can be able to feel these triggers that might come up before, during, or after when you have an MFM. So they could be triggers of jealousy, of insecurity, of shyness, of any kind of thing that comes up. You're able to identify it and then talk to your partner about it, so that you can deal with it right away and let it kind of move through, or find a way that you can create a scenario that's going to feel safer for you and for your partner. So the more embodied and confident that you feel in your own sexual energy, the easier it's going to be to sort of flow through this kind of a situation and really feel in control of the sexual dynamics that are taking place in this MFM, right? And again, my Empower program really helps with that. So I've designed this program based on all of these videos that I have made, seriously, and all the responses that I've been getting from men over the years. I'm like, okay, I need a program that's really going to help men feel grounded, feel present, feel confident, feel ready, be able to talk about what they have and what their desires are, be able to have all of these great experiences and take them away from the fantasy and the porn and really bring them into the practice of the body and the sexual energy. So if you've been sitting on this desire, MFMs, MMFs, even MFF for a long time, or maybe you've had a few experiences, but it's time to do something, to make a move, and you're still kind of like, I'm not sure. But if some of this stuff that I've talked about resonates with you and you think, wow, yeah, Leanna is talking to me, then come and join me, apply for the Empower program. There's a wait list. I would love to get you involved. It will change your life. It has changed lives of many men, and has helped many men take that step into beginning their journey of sexual exploration. So I hope to see you soon. Link is in the description below. Thank you for joining me today. Much love, Mickey.